Hi, it's me, Jen, once again. And now I'm going to talk to you about our oceans and some of the really cool animals that live in our oceans. But first of all, I just want to talk a little bit about why oceans are so important. They are home to over 1 million types of animals, which is a lot, obviously. And we're so lucky here where we live that we are surrounded by a very beautiful and very clean ocean comparatively. Oceans are also what are called carbon sinks, which you probably haven't heard of. Most people haven't. But a carbon sink is something that's really good for the planet because it takes the carbon dioxide, and that's the stuff that that's the polluting stuff that comes out of a car or comes out of a factory. That's carbon dioxide. And carbon sinks, which are oceans and forests, take that pollution, that carbon dioxide out of the air and recycle it and release it as pure oxygen, which is the good stuff that it's really good for us to breathe. So they're really important, they're the natural cleaners of the planet, the oceans and the forests. So it's really particularly important that we take care of those two things. And obviously because they're just beautiful and it's a wonderful place to walk and spend the day. And it's horrible when there's litter washing up on your beach and in your ocean. So in terms of the impact that plastic has on the sea life, basically, if you are a form of sea life, if you're one of those millions of creatures that live in the oceans, you are impacted by plastic. You either eat it, and what happens when sea creatures eat plastic is they think it's food and their bellies think it's food, so they get full up and then they end up starving because obviously there's no nutrition in plastic. And so, but their bellies feel full because they have a lot of plastic in it, but they're not actually eating food. The second thing that happens to animals with plastic is that they get tangled up in it. Now, this is really happens a lot with fishing line because it breaks off the boats and stuff, and it ends up just being in the ocean. And then it can get wrapped around fins or flippers or things like that. And then it makes it really hard and sometimes even impossible for animals to swim when they're caught up in fishing line. So they get tangled up in it. And the third way that plastic impacts sea life is that they can suffocate with plastic bags like this poor turtle that you see in the picture here. And that's really a problem where it gets caught in their in their mouths, or they suck it in as they're swimming, but it can cause for them to suffocate, to not be able to get the oxygen that they need out of the water. So it's really important that we protect the oceans from the plastic for the animals and also for ourselves. Okay, so now we're going to talk specifically about the 4 types of animals that we're sort of highlighting for this project. And remember what I told you in the first video was that you're going to do a drawing, and then your class is going to decide which drawing comes to us and gets made into a sculpture. So the first animal, and these drawings that I chose, I just got them off Google. I cannot take any credit for them whatsoever, but they are really beautiful drawings of these sea creatures. So the first one is, of course, a sea turtle. Isn't that fabulous? And there's a bunch of different types of sea turtles that live on the ocean, and they're all endangered, which means that all of them could potentially die out, not just because of plastic, but certainly plastic is a big part of it, and other types of pollution and overfishing and things like that. So we really need to protect our sea turtles. And they're super cool, right? Not just because but they're super cool. They can live up to 150 years old, which is amazing, right? So remember how long I told you plastic has been in existence? Does anyone remember? Like 120 years. That means that there are sea turtles that are swimming around in our oceans right now that are older than plastic, that existed before plastic existed. I think that's amazing. And now all this plastic is coming in and ruining their environment. The other thing is they really like to eat jellyfish. Who could blame them, right? No, I've never eaten a jellyfish. I have no idea what a jellyfish is like to eat. But anyway, they really like to eat jellyfish. And if you think about what a jellyfish looks like when it's in the water, sort of like translucent, clear and hanging there, it kind of looks like a plastic bag, don't you think? So what happens for the sea turtles is that they think they're going for a jellyfish and they end up eating plastic bags. And this happens a lot. And we've been really good at Ireland because we stopped using plastic bags years ago, like probably before y'all were born. But all around the world, plastic bags are still really common. And so it's something that we have to watch out for with the sea turtles. All right, next one is the octopi, which I'm nearly sure is the plural way of saying octopus. Isn't this another beautiful drawing? I just love these so much. So this is the octopus. The octopi, I'm going to keep saying both of those things because I'm not sure which is right. They are super smart. They are so smart that we don't even know yet how smart they are. But every time we observe them, we learn more and more things about how smart they are. So they were like these people, the scientists, they were like seeing if, like sometimes they can get a rat to push a button to get some food and stuff like that. So they were trying to do these experiments with octopus as well to see if they would do that. And then they were doing these weird, and they were giving them Legos and they were doing all this weird stuff. And then they couldn't figure out what they were doing. And it turned out that they were like playing with them. They were actually playing with the Legos, and there was more than one octopus in the thing, and they were playing together with the Legos, which is, if that doesn't show intelligence, I don't know what does show intelligence. So we're really sure that they are like one of the super smartest creatures out there. And they're so cool, right? So they can change color to match their environment, like a chameleon, and they have no bones. The only sort of hard part of an octopus is right around its brain, which is huge for an animal that size. To protect their brain, and they can fit into really, really tiny spaces because they can all squish up and they can like go under doors and stuff like that. Very cool. Okay, so then we've got whales. This guy looks like he's about to eat that poor shark there, but he still looks sort of nice. So blue whales are the largest creatures on Earth, and they can be longer than 30 meters long, which is very long. And I found out this fun fact about whales is that they don't sleep. Ever, right? So the most they do is they close down one side of their brain while they're like swimming along. And then the other one is active and they rest one side of their brain and then rest the other side of the brain, but they never actually go to sleep. But their whole lives, they never go to sleep. And also that there are 76 different types of whales that are swimming around our ocean, and dolphins count as whales. Like they're, obviously a different species, but they are also considered whales. And finally, our fourth animal, the sea lions. So sea lions are kind of funny creatures. They do not like to be alone. So you'll always see sea lions like going around with other sea lions, and they bark, right? Have you ever heard them, right? Right. So those are the sea lions. And what I had to look up is what makes a sea lion different than a seal. And they're both pinnipeds. But the sea lions, you see how these guys have those big flippers in the front? So the sea lions walk around like on those big flippers while they're barking, while the seals sort of will kind of move around and slither around on their bellies. So that's really how they get around, is the big difference. And the second big difference, does anyone know? You can see them in this picture. Sea lions have ears and seals do not. That doesn't mean that seals can't hear. It just means they don't have actual ears. Pinnipeds, that's what they're called, pinnipeds. Okay, so these drawings here, I took these off the internet as well, so I take no credit for these. But when now we're getting to the art competition part, and when you are making your drawing, you can either choose one of these, and your teachers have copies of these, so you can hand out those if you want during your art class, and you can decorate those, or you can draw your own. That's completely fine as well. I just put these in here to give you sort of an idea, but feel free to draw your own, or even get another one off the internet or from a book you have. Whatever you want, that's totally fine by me. So what's going to happen is now you're going to have an art competition in your class. And so everyone's going to do a drawing, and then all of the drawings are going to be taken to the artists, and they're going to pick the one that they like. Now, they may like it because they like the way the colors are, or they may like, something on it. It's not like a best, it's just what the artist wants to build into a sculpture. So I don't want anyone to feel bad if your drawing doesn't get picked. Or if you don't want to have everyone do one, you could do them in groups and turn in one. Or if you wanted to, you could all together do one and make some suggestions and then give us just the one drawing back. That's fine too. That's for you to discuss with your teachers. And then I'm going to bring that to the artist, and they're going to turn it into the sculpture that's based on your drawing. Now, I wanted to go back. So remember I told you at the beginning that we're going to do mosaic out of the plastic caps. So I just wanted to show you what mosaics look like. So when you're doing your drawing, you think about this type of decoration so that it's colored in little pieces. You see how the little blue things right around the turtle? That's mosaic design. And then you see on the right, there's a crab coming out of a shell. I'm pretty sure that's a crab, although it has sort of some lobsterous qualities as well. So anyway, those are mosaics, and you can see that the one, like the little pieces of blue, that's probably glass that's been broken up and cemented down on that to make that mosaic. And then they're going to be sculpted into larger pieces. Now, maybe they won't be this large, but I just wanted to show you some of the art that can be done with the bottle caps. And so the artists are going to build the structure out of the eco bricks. Remember I explained what the eco bricks are. And then they're going to decorate the outside with bottle caps, just like has been done in these pictures. So there we've got watermelon bottle cap art, we have fish bottle cap art, we have horse bottle cap art, and we have, I'm going to just say dinosaur because I don't know exactly what kind of dinosaur that is, but I bet someone in that classroom knows, and I would really like you to tell me. All right, so that's the last of me. Do you have any questions? If you have questions, you can write them down so that you remember, or tell your teacher so that your teacher remembers. And we can do one of two things. If you want to, and your teacher is up for it, and the internet is up for it, we can arrange for a little Zoom call where we'll do a live chat, and you can ask me questions directly. I would love to do that so much. So if you guys are up for it, have your teacher email me and we will do a Zoom call and answer your question. If that's not possible, and it's not possible, so, my internet goes down all the time, so it's, but we can definitely email them. So your teacher can send me the email and I will answer the questions and get that back to you. That is, again, completely up to you. So I'm looking forward to seeing your drawings. I'm looking forward to hearing your questions if you have any. And I'm really looking forward to seeing your drawings come to life as a big sculpture. Thank you so much for listening to me. Once again, my name is Jenny. Any questions, I want you to let me know. Thank you so much. And again, I'm sorry I didn't get to meet you in person, but maybe next year. All right, take care. Have fun with it. All right, you guys. Bye.